intelligence off the field is what he expects from people like Edison Alvarez and everyone else on the field.
The man of the hour, the captain of Mexico, receiving his gold medal last but not least. No Mexican player has ever played more Gold Cup games than Edson Alvarez. Today, he earned his 93rd cap, his 7th goal for his country, won them the Gold Cup. Coming into the tournament, it was about going back-to-back. Now Mexico can say they are back-to-back Gold Cup champions. In 2025, El Tri lift this trophy for a 10th time. Mexico are your 2025 Concacaf Gold Cup champions.
Congratulations to the 2025 Concacaf Gold Cup final winner, Mexico!
And how fitting to win it in Houston. So many Mexicans reside there, Mexican Americans. And El Tri did not disappoint. Yes, they conceded in the opening 5 minutes. Credit to Berhalter and Richards. But boy, experience rose to the surface like cream rising to the top. And how fitting to wear a black and gold uniform throughout this competition. And in the end, it resembles the trophy in their hands.
And notice that Edson Alvarez, the leader of this team, did not lift that trophy alone. He grabbed one of the handles. The other handle belonged to Memo Ochoa, the legend for Mexico. Questions coming in. Who would start for Javier Aguirre? Would he go with the veteran in Ochoa, or would he turn the page to Malagon? Will Ochoa be there as the starter next year, or will it be Malagon? Questions that'll get answered over the next 342 days, no doubt. But that is still whether or not he steps foot on the field. Their leader, a player that some players look to as an older brother. In the case of the 16-year-old who started today, Gilberto Mora looks at him as a father, almost based on the age gap between those two players, an age gap of 21 years. He's the elder statesman, Memo Ochoa, and the leadership he provides invaluable. But Malagon was the one who led the way in goal in this tournament. They have a lot of the boxes checked. They've got a striker in form. They've got a heart and soul. They have an identity. They have a keeper. They have a coach. There's not a lot of questions to be answered for Mexico right now as they start looking toward next year and the World Cup.
Correct. The only question mark they may have is what's up in the last third of the field for them. People like Alex Vega have to have more of an influence on this team in big stages. And of course, Raul Jimenez, who's going to support him in the number 9 role going forward. But from the back to the midfield and everything behind them, it is solid as a rock, and it resembles their coach. And boy, they don't make many mistakes. That is tournament football at its finest.
Everybody getting a touch of that trophy now for Mexico. This journey here in this Gold Cup for Mexico started in Group A. Started with a win where they were pushed to the brink against Dominican Republic, winning that one 3-2. They followed that with a 2-0 victory over Suriname. That multi-goal victory over Suriname put them in pole position going into the final day of group play, where they needed just a draw against Costa Rica. They got that draw, they won the group. A 2-0 win against Saudi Arabia in the quarters, a 1-0 win against Honduras in the semis, and then a 2-1 win over the United States here in this final as the celebrations continue. And a picture is posed for by these Mexican players. A 10th Gold Cup trophy in their history. Memo Ochoa started every game as the captain 2 years ago, so he helps lift it this time with Edson Alvarez. And the celebrations continue. A lap around the field, welcoming from the fans, no doubt on the horizon. I mentioned it earlier, so much support among this crowd. So many families even split in the crowd. You've got an elder gentleman here wearing a Mexican jersey, holding up a kid with a United States jersey. There's so many players who have suited up for both Mexico and the United States who feel the same way. These nations so intertwined in this sport.
And that's what makes this derby so original, right? You have the most famous derby in Argentina, Brazil, Germany, England. But this one, like you said, because the borders are so intertwined, there is so much more at stake, so much more emotions that come onto the field and into the TVs and the households of this derby as compared to other derbies around the planet. And look at the kids, they start from young and they take it right through their teenage life into adult life. It's a way of life in Mexico and a way of life United States versus Mexico.
And Mexico this year could say they are the unquestioned kings of Concacaf. This is just the second time that a nation has pulled off the Nations League Gold Cup double. The United States did that back in 2021. Ever since then, it's always been split, where one nation wins Nations League, another nation wins the Gold Cup. This is the first time since 2021, when the U.S. did it, that Mexico now is able to say they did the double. They're the Nations League champions back in the spring. They're the Gold Cup champions here tonight.
And let's not forget the club championship, the Concacaf Champions Cup, belongs to Cruz Azul in Mexico. So it's a clear run right across the board for the Mexicans. They are the toast of the town. They are the darlings of the region. And they are setting the pace for football in this region.
A long night of celebrations ahead, no doubt. Mexico, once again, your 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup champions. The 10th time in their history that they lift this trophy.